Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt the sting of someone pulling away? Felt that urge to chase, to call, to cling tighter? Let me tell you something that will change the game entirely. The secret to making someone chase you isn't about them. It's about you. The power of absence. We often underestimate the power of space. Absence creates intrigue, longing, and a perception of value. When you step back during no contact, you give them the gift of missing you. But here's the key. It's not about being passive. It's about being purposeful. Use this time to reflect, grow, and ignite the fire within yourself. Be building self-worth. Your greatest asset in any relationship is your self-worth. If you chase validation from someone else, you hand over your power. But when you own your value, others are drawn to your light. Take this time to rebuild your confidence. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Be so grounded in your own identity that you become irresistible. Clarity of intention. Let's get real. Why do you want him to chase you? Is it to feel desired? To prove something to yourself? Or is it because he genuinely adds value to your life? Get crystal clear on your intentions, because chasing isn't a game. It's about building meaningful connections. Your clarity will guide your actions and your energy. Leverage emotional psychology. We're emotional beings. People are drawn to what excites them, what challenges them, and what makes them feel alive. By stepping into your power and exuding confidence, you naturally create curiosity. When you engage, focus on quality over quantity. Leave room for mystery. Remember, it's not about playing hard to get. It's about being worth the effort. Strategic engagement. When the time comes to reconnect, you lead the dance. Keep your interactions light, positive, and intriguing. Set boundaries that reflect your self-worth. Don't over-explain, overshare, or overcompensate. Let your actions subtly communicate, I'm valuable and I respect myself enough to only invest in what's mutual and meaningful. Consistency and growth. Lastly, personal growth is magnetic. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, learning, evolving, and thriving, you become someone worth chasing. Your energy will speak louder than your words. And here's the kicker. When you live a life you love, whether they chase you or not, becomes irrelevant. Making him chase you isn't about manipulation or tricks. It's about standing tall in your power. When you honor your value, invest in yourself, and approach relationships with clarity, you don't just attract attention, you command it. So take the time to grow, to shine, and to own your worth. Because the greatest chase isn't about him coming to you. It's about you running toward the best version of yourself. Let's rise and thrive together. Thank you. When you think about absence, it might initially seem like a void, an empty space that signifies a loss or separation. But in reality, absence is a profound tool when wielded with purpose. It creates an undeniable presence, a kind of energy that can spark curiosity, ignite longing, and even transform the dynamics of a relationship. Absence gives others the space to notice what's missing and appreciate the value of what was once readily available. It's not about playing games or being manipulative. It's about stepping back to allow a natural recalibration of perception and connection. Think about it. When something is always there, it becomes part of the background, easily overlooked and taken for granted. But when that constant presence is suddenly removed, its absence is felt deeply. That's the essence of what makes absence so powerful. It compels the other person to reflect on what they had, why it mattered, and what life feels like without it. However, this process isn't automatic or guaranteed. It requires a strategic and intentional approach to truly make an impact. The key is how you use the time during no contact. Absence without growth or purpose can quickly turn into stagnation. You don't want to disappear only to reappear the same as before. That won't inspire intrigue or rekindle attraction. Instead, think of this time as a golden opportunity for transformation. It's about becoming a better, stronger, more fulfilled version of yourself. Not to prove anything to the other person, but because you deserve it. This transformation radiates an energy that others can't help but notice. Now, I usually tell people that they have to notice me radiating energy because people radiate energy. In this period, focus on building your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Take care of your body, exercise, eat well, and embrace habits that make you feel strong and confident. Work on your emotional resilience by addressing any lingering insecurities or doubts. Reflect on past patterns and relationships and consider how you can grow from them. Mental growth is equally vital. Engage in learning, explore new passions, and cultivate a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. When you step into this process with intention, your absence becomes more than just a missing piece. It becomes a force that others feel deeply. The person on the other side will sense the change in your energy even without direct contact. It's as though the space you've created allows them to see you in a new light, to wonder about your life, and to imagine what it would be like to reconnect. This period also allows you to reassess the relationship itself. Sometimes we're so focused on being present for someone else that we lose sight of what we truly want and deserve. Absence gives you clarity, a chance to evaluate whether this person aligns with your values, goals, and vision for the future. By stepping back, you gain the perspective needed to make empowered decisions about who and what is worth your energy. Remember, this isn't about manipulation or forcing someone's hand. It's about honoring yourself enough to create space for growth, respect, and mutual recognition. When absence is paired with transformation, it becomes a magnetic force that naturally draws people toward you. Not because you demand it, but because your energy commands it. Rebuilding self-worth is not just a step in personal growth. It is the cornerstone of your ability to attract and maintain meaningful connections. When your sense of value is compromised, it can lead to seeking validation from external sources, relationships, social approval, or even fleeting distractions. But the truth is, genuine self-worth must come from within. It's about recognizing your intrinsic value and standing firm in the knowledge that you are enough, regardless of external circumstances or other people's opinions. You don't have to suffer in order to become the best version of yourself. This process begins with self-awareness. Take an honest look at where you are right now. How do you feel about yourself? Are there lingering doubts, fears, or insecurities that make you question your value? Recognizing these emotions is the first step to addressing them. They aren't weaknesses. They are signals, pointing you toward areas of your life that need nurturing and healing. By acknowledging them, you take back the power they hold over you. Rebuilding your self-worth requires shifting your focus from external validation to internal affirmation. Too often we allow the opinions or actions of others to dictate how we feel about ourselves. If someone pulls away or doesn't give us the attention we desire, it's easy to internalize that as a reflection of our inadequacy. But here's the truth. Someone else's behavior says far more about them than it does about you. Your worth isn't tied to their validation. It exists independently of anyone else's approval. Start by redefining your relationship with yourself. Treat yourself with the same kindness, compassion, and respect that you would offer a close friend. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself, especially in moments of doubt or failure. Replace self-criticism with affirming and supportive thoughts. Remind yourself of your strengths, accomplishments, and unique qualities. You are not perfect, no one is, but you are worthy, lovable, and capable just as you are. Another critical element in rebuilding self-worth is setting boundaries. When you don't value yourself, you may find it difficult to say no or to stand up for your needs. But boundaries are a way of teaching others how to treat you. They communicate that you respect yourself enough to expect the same from those around you. Start small, practicing saying no to things that don't align with your values or well-being. Even with time, setting boundaries becomes a natural expression of self-respect. Growth is another vital component of self-worth. When you invest in your personal development, you reinforce the message that you are valuable and deserving of effort. Take time to explore your interests, learn new skills, or pursue goals that excite you. Growth isn't just about achieving external success. It's about the sense of accomplishment and fulfillment that comes from striving to become the best version of yourself. As you rebuild your self-worth, you'll notice a shift in how others perceive and respond to you. Confidence is magnetic, and when you truly value yourself, others are naturally drawn to that energy. But more importantly, you'll find that your need for external validation diminishes. You'll no longer base your sense of worth on someone else's attention or approval, because you'll know deep in your core that you are already enough. And yet, rebuilding self-worth isn't a destination, it's an ongoing journey. It requires patience, persistence, and compassion for yourself. But as you continue to nurture and strengthen your sense of value, you'll not only transform your relationships, you'll transform your life. You'll stand taller, shine brighter, and live with the unshakable confidence that comes from knowing your worth is infinite and undeniable. Understanding your intentions is one of the most transformative steps in creating meaningful relationships and interactions. Clarity and intentions isn't just about knowing what you want, it's about understanding why you want it and ensuring it aligns with your core values and long-term happiness. Too often, people pursue connections or rekindle relationships without pausing to consider whether their motives are rooted in genuine desire, unresolved emotions, or a need for validation. Without clarity, actions can become reactive and counterproductive, leaving you feeling unfulfilled or worse, stuck in unhealthy cycles. Mr. Cooks, Owen Peterson. The first step toward clarity is self-reflection. Ask yourself, why do I want him to chase me? What am I hoping to gain from this pursuit? Your initial response might be as simple as wanting to feel wanted, important, or desired. These are natural human feelings, but they can also point to deeper needs or insecurities that might require attention. Are you seeking his attention because it validates your worth? Or do you genuinely believe he adds value to your life in a way that aligns with your long-term vision for love and partnership? If you conclude it with that latter, then you're bad at love. You'll be pretty good at partnership. Once you've identified your reasons, dig deeper. Are these reasons coming from a place of strength and self-respect, or are they rooted in fear and scarcity? For example, if you're pursuing someone out of fear of being alone or because you feel they're your only chance at happiness, it's important to recognize how that mindset could limit you. Clarity means making decisions from a place of empowerment, where your choices reflect your self-worth, rather than a desire to fill a void. When you're clear about your intentions, you're better equipped to approach the situation with confidence and purpose. Clarity allows you to set boundaries and communicate effectively because you know what you're willing to accept and what you won't tolerate. This doesn't mean being rigid or inflexible. It means valuing yourself enough to align your actions with what you truly deserve. Clarity also helps you evaluate the other person's role in your life. Is he someone who supports your growth, respects your boundaries, and shares your values? Or are you holding on to an idealized version of him that doesn't reflect the reality of who he is? Sometimes the desire for someone to chase us stems more from ego than compatibility. By being honest with yourself about who he is and how he fits into your life, you can determine whether pursuing a connection with him aligns with your long-term happiness. Another powerful aspect of clarity is the freedom it brings. When you know what you want and why you want it, you're less likely to get caught up in games, overthinking, or seeking approval. Your actions become intentional rather than reactive. You're no longer chasing someone to fill a need. They're drawn to you because your energy radiates confidence, purpose, and authenticity. Remember, clarity isn't about controlling outcomes. It's about aligning your actions with your values and goals. When you're clear about your intentions, you create a foundation for relationships that are authentic, fulfilling, and mutually beneficial. You also become more resilient in the face of rejection or setbacks because your sense of worth isn't tied to someone else's response. Instead, it's rooted in your own understanding of who you are and what you deserve. Ultimately, clarity of intentions empowers you to make choices that reflect your highest self. It ensures that whether or not he chases you, you're on a path that honors your worth, respects your journey, and leads you toward genuine fulfillment. And that is a pursuit worth prioritizing every time. Human beings are emotional creatures, and emotions are the invisible threads that connect us. When you understand and leverage emotional psychology, you unlock the ability to create a powerful and lasting impact on those around you. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about understanding how emotions drive behavior and using that knowledge to build deeper, more meaningful connections. At the heart of emotional psychology is the principle that people are drawn to what makes them feel good, alive, and seen. When you step into your personal power and radiate confidence, joy, and purpose, you naturally evoke these feelings in others. Your energy becomes contagious. It's not about saying the perfect words or executing a flawless plan. It's about embodying an authentic energy that resonates with others on a deeper level. One of the key aspects of emotional psychology is curiosity. People are naturally intrigued by mystery and complexity. When you reveal everything about yourself at once, there's nothing left to discover, no intrigue to keep someone invested. By maintaining a sense of mystery, not in a secretive or deceptive way, but in a way that leaves room for growth and discovery, you create a dynamic that encourages others to lean in, to want to know more about you, and to invest in understanding you. Another important factor is emotional resonance. Humans connect through shared experiences, values, and emotions. When you express yourself authentically, especially in a way that aligns with your core values, you create moments of emotional resonance that are hard to ignore. For example, if you share a story or passion that reflects your unique journey, it not only reveals a part of who you are, but also invites others to connect with you on a deeper, more personal level. Confidence plays a significant role in emotional attraction. Confidence is magnetic because it signals self-assurance and independence. When you carry yourself with confidence, you communicate that you are complete on your own, and that any relationship or connection you form is an addition to your life, not a necessity. This energy is deeply attractive because it removes the pressure from the other person to complete you. Instead, it invites them to be part of something already vibrant and fulfilling. Emotional psychology also involves understanding timing and balance in communication. It's about knowing when to lean in and when to step back. Over-communication can sometimes diminish the allure of connection because it removes the space for curiosity and longing. On the other hand, thoughtful engagement, where you are present and attentive, but not overly available, creates a balance that keeps interactions exciting and meaningful. The goal is to create a dynamic where both parties feel valued and invested. Ultimately, leveraging emotional psychology means prioritizing authenticity, curiosity, and intentionality in your interactions. It's about creating emotional experiences that leave a lasting impression, not through manipulation, but through the genuine expression of who you are. People remember how you make them feel, and when you evoke emotions of joy, intrigue, and connection, you become someone they want to be around, someone they feel inspired to chase, not because they have to, but because they want to. And I think that a lot of leaders, people feel like they must take action when they feel like it. When it's time to reinitiate contact, how you approach it sets the tone for what follows. Strategic engagement isn't about playing games or orchestrating an elaborate plan. It's about being intentional, confident, and authentic in every interaction. This approach ensures that when you connect, you do so in a way that reflects your worth, protects your boundaries, and inspires mutual respect. That is explained. It's Jason Leverage. Welcome, Jason. What do you want to share with us today? The first step in strategic engagement is to set the foundation for how you want to be perceived. Remember, how you present yourself matters. By this point, you've likely taken the time during the no contact period to focus on personal growth, rebuild your self-worth, and clarify your intentions. Now it's about letting that internal transformation shine through in your actions and communication. Approach the situation with a mindset of abundance, not desperation. Your energy should convey that you are content, thriving, and open, but not dependent on their response. The tone of your initial communication should be light, positive, and confident. Avoid diving into heavier emotional topics right away. A simple, upbeat message that reflects your current state is often the best way to reintroduce yourself. For example, you might share something interesting or exciting that's happened in your life recently, creating an opening for curiosity and conversation. The key is to be engaging without overwhelming. Leave room for them to reciprocate and invest in the interaction. Boundaries play a critical role in strategic engagement. It's tempting to want to overcompensate or immediately dive into frequent communication to reestablish a connection. But remember, boundaries are a reflection of your self-respect and value. They help create a dynamic where both parties contribute equally to the relationship. When you respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively, you communicate that your time and energy are valuable. This approach doesn't just protect you, it also builds intrigue and fosters a sense of mutual appreciation. Pacing is another essential element. Relationships and connections thrive on balance. If you flood the interaction with too much too soon, it can feel overwhelming or one-sided. Instead, focus on quality over quantity. Each interaction should feel intentional and meaningful, not forced or obligatory. Give them the space to process and respond. By pacing your engagement, you create a rhythm that keeps the connection fresh and exciting. One powerful tool in strategic engagement is active listening. When you engage in conversation, prioritize understanding over being understood. Pay attention to their words, tone, and emotions. By showing genuine interest in their thoughts and feelings, you create a sense of safety and value. This, in turn, strengthens the emotional connection and makes your presence feel irreplaceable. As you navigate this phase, it's crucial to remain authentic. Strategic engagement isn't about pretending to be someone you're not or manipulating the situation to get a specific outcome. It's about showcasing your best self, the version of you that has grown, evolved, and embraced your own worth. Authenticity is what creates lasting connections because it fosters trust and transparency. Ultimately, strategic engagement is about building a foundation for mutual respect, interest, and connection. It ensures that when you interact, you do so with confidence and purpose. It also allows you to assess whether the other person is willing and able to meet you at the same level of effort and investment. By taking these steps, you not only set the tone for a meaningful reconnection, but also reaffirm your commitment to honoring your own value in every relationship. Personal growth is one of the most magnetic and transformative forces you can embrace, not just in relationships, but in every aspect of life. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you naturally exude an energy that draws people to you. Growth doesn't just change how you see yourself, it changes how others perceive you. It sends a powerful message. You are someone who's constantly evolving, someone who is not content with staying stagnant, and someone who values self-improvement. True growth begins with self-awareness. This is the foundation upon which all progress is built. Take time to reflect on your strengths, weaknesses, passions, and dreams. Ask yourself what areas of your life need attention or improvement. Perhaps it's your physical health, emotional well-being, professional aspirations, or spiritual journey. Growth requires an honest look at where you are and a commitment to where you want to be. It's about identifying the gap between your current self and your potential self, then taking deliberate steps to bridge that gap. One of the most significant aspects of personal growth is the shift in priorities it brings. When you prioritize your own happiness, well-being, and development, you stop relying on external validation to feel complete. This independence is deeply attractive because it signals to others that you are fulfilled on your own. It removes the pressure from them to complete you, and instead they are drawn to you because of the joy and fulfillment you radiate. Growth also involves stepping outside your comfort zone. This might mean pursuing new hobbies, taking risks in your career, or confronting fears that have held you back. It's about pushing yourself to experience life fully and embracing challenges as opportunities for learning. When you embrace change and uncertainty, you build resilience and adaptability, qualities that make you more confident and capable in any situation. People are drawn to individuals who are willing to take on life with courage and enthusiasm, as it inspires them to do the same. As you grow, you'll notice that your relationships begin to shift. Some people may feel threatened by your transformation, while others will be inspired and supportive. Growth naturally filters out connections that no longer serve you and attracts those who align with your evolving values and goals. This isn't something to fear. It's a sign that you are moving toward a life that is more authentic and fulfilling. And consistency is another critical element of growth. It's not enough to experience a temporary burst of motivation or make superficial changes. Real growth is an ongoing process that requires daily effort and commitment. Whether it's maintaining a fitness routine, investing in personal development through books or courses, or practicing mindfulness and gratitude, consistency ensures that your transformation is lasting and impactful. Over time, this dedication will become evident to everyone around you. What makes growth so powerful in relationships is that it changes the dynamic without you needing to demand anything. Instead of chasing someone or seeking their approval, your growth naturally commands their attention and admiration. They see the confidence, self-respect, and joy you carry, and it becomes clear that being part of your life is a privilege, not a necessity. Footnote: ultimately, personal growth isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about honoring yourself. It's about living a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling, regardless of who is watching or participating. When you embrace growth, you not only become a better version of yourself, but also inspire others to do the same. And in the process, you create a life so abundant and rich with purpose that others can't help but want to be a part of it. This is the power of consistency and growth. It transforms your life from the inside out, making you irresistible in the most authentic and empowering way. In the grand tapestry of relationships, the power to shape connections, spark attraction, and inspire pursuit lies not in chasing others, but in embracing your own worth, growth, and authenticity. The journey of creating meaningful relationships begins with understanding the profound impact of absence, the strength of rebuilding your self-worth, and the clarity of your intentions. It is rooted in leveraging emotional psychology to foster genuine connection, engaging with confidence and strategy, and above all, committing to continuous personal growth. The essence of making someone chase you isn't about manipulation or games. It's about becoming a person so aligned with their own values, purpose, and joy that others are naturally drawn to you. It's about creating space for intrigue, showing up as your most authentic self, and living a life that reflects confidence and fulfillment. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you stop seeking validation externally because you've already found it within. Remember, the most magnetic force in any relationship is the energy you radiate when you are whole and empowered. When you honor your boundaries, value your time, and nurture your growth, you set a standard for how you deserve to be treated. This not only inspires others to meet you at your level, but also filters out those who are not aligned with your vision of a meaningful, balanced connection. Ultimately, making someone chase you isn't the goal. It's a byproduct of living a life so full of purpose, passion, and authenticity that others can't help but want to be a part of it. And in that process, you'll discover the greatest gift of all, a deep and abiding love for yourself, which forms the foundation for all the beautiful relationships yet to come. So step boldly into your power, align with your truth, and let your light shine unapologetically. The right people will chase you, not because you demand it, but because you inspire it. And when they do, you'll know that the connection is rooted in mutual respect, admiration, and an unshakable recognition of your worth.